Hey everyone, I hope that you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. My name is Marco and I'm just a regular guy who has embarked on a journey. My goal is to become a better photographer and a better person. And I started this channel to share that journey with anyone who thinks they can extract some value from this journey, from this process. I've started a couple of series on this channel. Today, or the episode that you're joining me on now, is the 9th installment in a series that I'm calling Journals. Journals is an exercise that I do quite regularly. I've been doing it for about a year now. It's when I go out and I journal an afternoon or an evening or a day with my camera versus journaling it with a pen and paper. So the goal is not to go out and do street photography or to go out and do landscapes or to go out and do portraits. The whole point is just to observe the world with fresh eyes and a fresh perspective, and then take a picture of anything that I don't want to forget, anything that I want to remember. On this particular occasion, I went into Milan to do a photo shoot with a model that I had met on Instagram, who was a lot of fun to shoot with. We did a photo shoot for maybe about 40 minutes. We met in Navigli. If you are not from Milan, if you're not from Italy, you could check out Journals episode 7, where I go to Navigli for the first time. And so I went there and we did this photo shoot. It took maybe 30-40 minutes or so. I needed to go back to the train station, Milano Centrale, in order to take a train to get back home. And so rather than taking the subway to go to the train station, I decided that since I didn't know Milan very well at the time, that I would walk from Navigli to Milano Centrale, which is typically about an hour and 15-minute walk. And so today's episode is just me journaling that walk from Navigli to Milano Centrale. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna roll the first segment. As usual, the first segment is usually like my warm-up shots. It's just pictures and video of me going into Milan, taking some pictures before the photo shoot and a couple of pictures right after the photo shoot right there in Navigli. And then when we come back, I'll share with you some pictures from the actual walk from Navigli to Milano Centrale. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this first clip. So many things that have changed for me in the way that I view the world in this, in 2020. But one of the things that is starting to shift is how I shoot and why I shoot. And I talked about it in the last episode that I have this philosophy to live first and shoot second. And in the past, I used to be fixated on if a picture is not print worthy, then I don't want to make it. And photography became stressful. It became like this, with these expectations, and it wasn't fun anymore. And ever since I shifted my perspective to just capturing the things that I want to remember, photography has become fun again, and it's become therapeutic and really good for my soul. One of the things that I found particularly interesting on this particular day is I noticed a couple of things. Some were things that I found inspiring, and then other things were things that maybe to someone who lives there, it's so typical, but for me, it's just so amazing and even poetic in a certain way. Things like, people sitting down and hanging out, having a snack underneath these ancient ruins, for example. To me, that's not something that I grew up with. Fashion was another thing. I'm really fascinated by the choices that people make when it comes to what they choose to cover their bodies with. In fact, a lot of the pictures that you're going to see today, I shot just because of what people were wearing. Not because I was attracted to the composition or what was happening, but there were moments where I would look at people and I would just think like, wow, that's an interesting choice of clothes, or I love the color scheme, or the clothing of this particular person seems to match the color scheme of the city. It's just interesting. All of these things I found quite fascinating, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this next segment and you will probably see what I mean. This particular segment that you're gonna see now is me walking from Navigli to Il Duomo. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I had been walking for maybe about half hour and I got to Il Duomo. I decided to stop at Il Duomo thinking that maybe I could make some photographs there, but for whatever reason, I just was not feeling it there. I don't think I made one photograph there. I made one of some guy combing his hair. You'll see it in this next segment. So after hanging out there for a little bit, maybe 10-15 minutes, I decided to start to make my way back to Milano Centrale, to the train station. At this point, and I haven't talked about gear yet, but the pictures that you've seen so far were either shot with the X70 or the Fuji X-e3. I had taken the Fuji X-e3 with me because I had done this photo shoot with this model. And the X-e3 is the camera that I've been using for most photo shoots this year in 2020. And so the X70, I took it with me because I do the talking parts whenever I do talking parts out on the field. And so the X70 had run out of batteries. So all of the pictures that you're gonna see in this last segment, and we're almost done with today's episode, these are all shot just with the X-e3 because the X70 had died. I forgot to charge it the night before. Yeah, I'm just gonna share this last clip. This is just me walking back from Il Duomo back to the train station, and all of these pictures were either taken with the Fuji 23mm f2 or with the 7artisans 35mm 1.2, which is a manual focus lens. One of the greatest joys in life for me is to explore, and I was really happy to get to explore Milan on this particular day. here is the last clip. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you soon.
I'm still about a maybe half-hour walk away.